right, hello everyone. This is Amanda Brunson, the HR Panda, branching out with HR Florida 20 speaker spotlights and meeting with Colene Rogers today. So really excited to be talking to her about her Master's Series session at HR Florida, which is coming up in just 20 plus days, just a few more. So would love to turn it over to Colene real quick to introduce yourself.
Thanks. So I am a 20-year HR professional, and I help organizations to not only find, but retain and engage their employees, and to be the company that employees never want to leave, and help leaders become leaders that people want to follow. So that's what I currently do, and I love it.
Awesome. Well, Colene, your career has really grown a lot through the years, especially in the last 10 to 12 years. What is it about speaking, training, and coaching that really made you take that leap from the HR, talent acquisition manager to what you're doing today?
So it marries pretty well together. So I did HR before I had kids, and took a break, and then came back in and really dove into the talent acquisition side of it. And so I love helping people get jobs, and I love helping organizations keep them. Now, I also have a background in theater. So I did theater. I have a public speaking degree. So it was an easy transition after having enough years behind me that someone might think I know something. I actually stepped out into that. And I just recently wrote a book on it. And that really taking all my, if you want to call them expert insights, and putting it into that book, and allowing people to see that what goes on inside your organization is why your talent stays, and then giving them not only why they leave, but solutions to keep them. So
awesome.
That's what I like to do.
That's wonderful. Now, we know this has been a very trying year for all of us. How has COVID-19 impacted, you and your organization?
Yes, so a lot of speakers had to, pivot. And so we have a studio at home. So we've been recording videos for some time. So for us, it was taking the keynote presentations and putting them into a virtual format. We just recorded this week our 2-hour master series for HR Florida. And so for us, it's making it engaging, using different stages and interview and videos, and just really trying to engage someone for 2 hours. So that's been our biggest. We're very fortunate that I am an HR consultant, and I coach and I train, and I've been training virtually for a while. So we are very fortunate in that regard with COVID, and it makes you do things that you don't do when you're on the road. So we did market the book, and we designed a new website, and that is a bear if you've ever done it. It took us 2.5 months, but it's done, and it's never done, right? But we're excited. So it made us stay home and do some stuff, so it wasn't so bad.
You mentioned pivot, which I think is the unofficial theme of the HR Florida conference this year.
Oh, yeah.
So I've seen you there the last few years. You're no stranger to the conference. What is it about the HR Florida community that brings you back year after year and just makes you want to speak and be an attendee?
So I think it's a couple things. I think it's the expert level of production. So I enjoy that with a theater background. I actually am on, I think this is my 5th or 6th year on the conference team. So I help in the general section, help direct that. And I love that, all of that exciting and creativity. But the people, lifelong friends, HR friends are like the best friends, because they get what you do and they're like you, right? So you're with your colleagues, you're with your friends, and you can just kind of all just let down, because with HR, we're always the ones that everybody sends someone to. So it's nice to be around friends that you can just be yourself. So I love HR Florida, and it is one of the best conferences in the nation. I mean, we hear that all the time. So, hey, it's nice to be a part of a great team, right?
Exactly. Oh, I'm so looking forward to seeing my friends and just be around. Everybody's like, it's still happening? I said, yeah. And they're like, you're going? I was like, I need HR people in my life. So
yes.
I get it.
That's been challenging, right? The whole isolation and especially if you're an extrovert, so yeah, that's been hard, that part of it. So
Okay, well,
yes, I'm looking forward to it.
me too. So can you tell anybody that's watching this a little bit about what your Master Series session is going to be about? And then
Sure.
also, sorry, one a takeaway that you think that you want everybody to take away from your session.
Sure. So it follows the book, and you can probably see the book behind me. It's called Retention: Key Mindsets That Retain Top Talent. And so we will talk about the whole 2 hours will not obviously be the whole 2 hours, but the book is a great takeaway. You always want to take it away. And so we will talk about the mindsets that employees have about coming into your organization, and do they move up or down, and all of what they think about your organization is what's going on in the inside. And so I put it into what I call retention architecture. And how you find your talent, it begins before they ever come for that interview. It's everything that you market out there. I call it your business image ideal. What do you put out there to the public, right? And then I also explain that it's not only just what happens there, it's what happens with their boss. What kind of conflict resolution you have, what kind of talent development you have, and then it bookends with HR solutions that keep us out of court. So that retention architecture has to be inside of every organization. And sometimes I know it seems overwhelming. Wow, that's a lot to do. We can't ask our supervisors to do another thing. But I explain how much turnover costs, and I have a 75 line item turnover calculator I do with all my clients, and it's their numbers. I plug it in, and then when the reality is that it's 6 to 9 months to a year salary to replace some talent, then the extra effort you go into to create your retention architecture to retain your talent is a lot less expensive. And so it's getting those numbers, and sometimes HR shies away from numbers. I've just kind of embraced them and tried to speak the language of the C-suite. So that's all what we're going to talk about, is how do we position ourselves to make change inside of our organization by looking at how the talent thinks, and then how we're representing ourselves to the C-suite so we can make change. And that's why it's called The Future of HR. And that was probably much more than you wanted, Amanda, but you got it.
Okay, that's all right. So, you talk about the session being based around the book. So what was the inspiration for that book, and then, the corresponding session that you're going to be providing?
Yeah, so I want to help people. And so after the conference, people will come, I'll speak somewhere, and they'll come up and, how do I do that? It's yeah, that sounds good, but how do I do that? And so that's why I wrote the book. It's very simple, easy read. It's something that they can take with them. And then if they need help and they want us to come in and help them accomplish that, we can do so. But I really want to help not only the company, but the employees. I always felt a closeness to them because, I would hire them and I wanted them to be successful, and I wanted them to stay with the company. So it's just a heart of mine that has developed over the years to help, retain talent.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So can you provide like a specific experience that you have that helped develop your expertise in this area?
I would think it had to do with finding talent. Two of my jobs I had to go in, one particular, just the old way of finding talent, coming in and just changing the whole acquisition program. What did that look like? And a lot of my HR friends say they dislike recruiting the most. So I just embraced it. What does that look like? And from a perspective of how I wanted to treat the employee. So I look at it from both sides. And so I think your question was, what expertise did I have? It's because I really dove into the HR talent acquisition and development side of it, and just ran with that and tried to be an expert in that part of it. And yeah, that's how I go in and I work in companies. And it does work through leadership training and the conflict resolution. And then what I call retention talks. I teach my clients to do that. It does change. I mean, I see the turnover change because we're changing what's going on inside. And that's the key.
Awesome. Okay, is there anything else as we wrap up that we should know about you or your session that listeners should know?
So we will take some time because often in a keynote, you know, it's an hour and I really can't go over the turnover calculator. We will go over that. I will show how I came up with the numbers, working with clients. A lot of HR people are interested in that. That's a little more hands-on. I want it to be a hands-on session. Okay. So obviously, if you're watching the recording, we try to make it as engaging as possible. And in the recording, we will be able to communicate with you on chat. But in the session, we're going to try to mix it up and make it as interesting as possible and interact and go over the turnover calculator and, you know, maybe have some opportunity to share. You know, sometimes HR Florida, there's so many people in a room that it's not conducive to do that. Yeah. So I think we'll have more of an opportunity to do that. You have to look on the bright side instead of, you know, there's not going to be 2,500 people. Who will be there and what are we going to do with it? And that's what we've all been doing with COVID, right? What can we learn from this? How can we take a deeper dive? And so yeah, and I look forward to meeting people in person. So it'll be fun to do that.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. So for anybody that would like to connect with you on social media, what would be the best way for them to do so?
Yeah, so obviously LinkedIn, and then I have to say probably Facebook. And if you want to get in our world and get videos from us, you can go to our website, colenerogers.com, and sign up, and we send out videos and we send out different clips to people, and sometimes we send out sections from the book. If they want to order the book, you can do it from our website, by the way, and no shipping. So especially for those who aren't coming to the conference, we're going to have a book signing. You won't get it there, but we wanted to make sure those who couldn't come could get it from no shipping too. So, or Amazon, of course. But, yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I just checked before this to see what time your session was, and it looks like the schedule's been taken down. Do you know, for those that want to attend your session, what time your session's going to be?
Yeah, it's a good question. Well, it's kind of been changing. That's probably why they've taken it down. It is a fluid schedule, and I am very thankful for Linda Wiley and Terry Green and the people who work on the conference team. Not easy. So it might be frustrating to those out there, but it is right now. Yeah, they deserve many crowns, jewels in their crown. And so it is scheduled for Tuesday, but it's kind of gone back and forth between 1 and 3:30. So I think it's landed on 1, but it might be 3:30. So, but it's Tuesday afternoon. So.
Well, for those of you that want to attend Colene's session, check the schedule closer to the date. Make sure you add her to your schedule, or if you're watching online, you know, you'll have access to her session. So make sure you check it out. Colene, thank you so much. Really appreciated talking to you today, and I look forward to seeing you in just like 3 weeks.
Yes. Thank you, Amanda. What an awesome thing that you're doing. Thank you for letting me participate in it.
You're very welcome. All right, we'll see you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.